The Zephyrian High Command had made their calculations with typical precision. Earth's population, 8 billion. Their fleet strength, minimal by galactic standards. Their technology, primitive fusion drives and kinetic weapons. The conquest would take 72 standard hours, maybe less if the humans surrendered quickly. Fleet Admiral Kethvar stood on the bridge of the flagship Dominion's edge, watching the blue marble grow larger on the view screen. Behind him, 300 dreadnoughts held formation, the largest invasion force the Zephyrian Empire had ever assembled. It was overkill, really, but the humans had somehow managed to destroy a scouting fleet 6 months ago. Better to be thorough. Admiral, Communications Officer Zelthera reported, her crystalline voice cutting through the bridge's quiet efficiency. We're receiving multiple transmissions from Earth. They appear to be surrendering. Kethvar's mandibles clicked with satisfaction. Excellent. Patch me through to their leadership. The main screen shimmered, revealing a human female with graying hair and tired eyes. She wore what appeared to be formal military attire, though it looked almost ceremonial compared to Zephyrian battle armor. I am Admiral Sarah Chen of the United Earth Defense Force, the human said, her voice steady despite the circumstances. I'm authorized to discuss terms of surrender. Wise, Kethvar replied. You will stand down all defensive installations and prepare for occupation. Your species will be relocated to designated worlds within the Empire. Comply and casualties will be minimal. Admiral Chen was quiet for a long moment. Then, unexpectedly, she smiled. It was not the expression of a defeated leader. Admiral Kethvar, isn't it? I'm afraid there's been a misunderstanding. When I said I was authorized to discuss terms of surrender, I meant yours. Kethvar's forearms tensed. Human, your bravado is admirable but foolish. You face the might of 300 dreadnoughts. Your world has perhaps 50 defensive platforms and a handful of patrol vessels. Oh, you're absolutely right about Earth's defenses, Chen agreed. But see, that's the thing about humans, Admiral. We don't put all our eggs in one basket. Before Kethvar could respond, his sensor officer's alarm shrieked across the bridge. Admiral. Massive energy signatures detected, ships decloaking at grid coordinates. The officer's voice was drowned out by more alarms. Then more. The tactical display lit up like a festival fireworks show, red contacts appearing by the dozens, then hundreds, then thousands. How is this possible? Kethvar demanded. Admiral Chen's image remained on screen, her smile growing wider. You know, it's funny. The galaxy's been watching us for decades, studying us, making their assessments. Earth, Sol system, birthplace of humanity. Population 8 billion. But here's what your intelligence services missed, Admiral. The tactical display now showed a sphere of human vessels surrounding the Zephyrian fleet. The numbers were staggering. Over 5,000 ships, many of them dreadnought class or larger. We've been colonizing for 300 years, Chen continued conversationally. Not just terraforming worlds that's expensive and slow. We've been adapting asteroid habitats in the Kepler system, deep-sea colonies on high-pressure worlds, underground cities on planets with toxic atmospheres, ice miners in the void between stars, generation ships that never bothered to stop when they found suitable worlds. They just kept going, kept growing, kept building. Kethvar's tactical officer spoke in a whisper. Admiral, I'm reading ships from over 400 different solar systems. Some of these designs, they're using technologies we've never encountered. The thing about humans, Chen said, is that we adapt. Every hostile environment teaches us something new. The void-born humans developed gravity manipulation. The high-pressure colonies perfected quantum tunneling drives. The ice miners learned to weaponize dark matter. A new voice joined the conversation, younger, male with a slight accent. This is Admiral Marcus Webb of the Proxima Colonial Fleet. We've got 2,000 ships in system and more jumping in every minute. Another voice. Admiral Lisa Nakamura, Outer Rim Mining Consortium. The void-born fleets are in position. James Morrison, Deep Colony Collective. Our underground adapted vessels are running dark, but we're here. Elena Rodriguez, Generation Fleet Exodus. We've been traveling for 2 centuries, but we came home for this. The communications channel filled with voices, dozens of admirals from across human space, reporting in from fleets that had been scattered across 1,000 star systems, fleets that the galaxy had never seen, never suspected, never imagined. Kethvar stared at the tactical display in growing horror. His 300 ships were utterly surrounded by a human armada that outnumbered them 16 to 1. You see, Admiral, Chen said gently, Earth isn't humanity's stronghold. It's not even our capital anymore. It's our shrine, our memory, and you just threatened to desecrate it. The first human shots came from everywhere at once. Not the primitive kinetic weapons the Zephyrians had expected, but exotic energy discharges that bypassed their shields entirely, quantum torpedoes that existed in 17 dimensions simultaneously, gravity bombs that turned space itself into a weapon. In the span of 30 seconds, the pride of the Zephyrian Empire was reduced to floating debris. Kethvar found himself in an escape pod, his flagship gone, his fleet annihilated. Around him, human ships moved with terrifying coordination. Not the desperate defense of a dying world, but the calculated precision of an interstellar superpower that had simply been waiting for someone to give them an excuse. Admiral Chen's voice reached him through the pod's emergency communications. Admiral Kethvar, you're going to return to your empire with a message. Humanity isn't 8 billion people on one world. We're 80 billion people on 800 worlds and 10,000 habitats on 1 million ships between the stars. We've been quiet neighbors for centuries. The pod's view screen showed him the truth in all its terrifying glory. A human fleet so vast it blotted out the stars. Ships of designs that spanned centuries of adaptation and innovation. Crews that had grown up in every hostile environment the galaxy could offer. But if someone wants to threaten our home, Chen's voice continued, they'll find out that humanity doesn't just have one world to defend. We have an entire galaxy to retaliate with. As Kethvar's escape pod was tractored in by a human vessel, he realized the galaxy's greatest mistake. They had counted humanity's strength by looking at Earth alone, never realizing that Earth was just the roots of a tree, whose branches now stretched across every star. The galaxy thought humans had one homeworld. They were wrong, deadly wrong.